Okay. Bienvenidos a un nuevo video de Escucha Podcast. Y aquí un nuevo video diferente en inglés, el primer video.
This is gonna be the side of these spiders over here. I'm the trainer here. Your name? Can you introduce yourself?
Carlos, Coach Carlos.
Jeffrey, fighter. Jimmy.
Fighter also.
This guy?
Henry.
Daniel.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. I don't know if y'all wanna speak about y'all like a little bit, like how y'all know this sport, like why y'all decide to box and not other sport.
Wanna go first? You go first.
Go ahead, fighting.
I mean, growing up, I'd say it's from like 14 years old and up, I was always into fighting. And I mean, I never was able to train, to be honest, because I didn't have a ride. And here in Pertamboy, there's not really any boxing gyms or anything. But, you know, thanks to Instagram and social media, I was able to reach out to Carlos. And then I found out he was a coach and he was training in boxing. And then, you know, we ended up meeting up. And I was like 17. This was not too long ago. And then from there, I've been training with him ever since.
Okay. You're from Rio now? Why you decide boxing and not another sport like football or soccer?
I wanted to do football, but that was out of the list, and I decided to do boxing because, like, I saw my favorite fighter,
Alright.
Canelo, and
Canelo Alvarez?
see.
That guy is good.
It's the face of boxing right now.
Yeah.
You was a boxer.
Yeah,
But-
it was.
You decided to train.
Yeah, so, you know, my fantasy was never to become a trainer once I joined the sport, but, you know, things happen, injuries, have a dislocated shoulder, you know. So God put me in another direction, and he said, you know what, I want you to serve. And that's what I'm doing. I love helping people. You know, it's all about the you, bringing everybody together and impacting people's life. To me, that's the true measure of greatness, bringing everybody together. That's what I'm all about, unity, loyalty, and respect.
Perfect.
It's good.
Well, me growing up, I played every sport like football, basketball, baseball. I was alright in the sports, but
Everything.
yeah, I played everything because you know I was a little chubby when I was smaller, so my mom would put me in sports and stuff. But when like I always was a fan of boxing, but when I met Carlos, I was always watching Carlos on Facebook when I was like 17, 18. I'm 21 right now. And I would watch Carlos and I would see him coming up and his passion for the sport, because you don't want to be with an old trainer who's just telling you, oh, you do this, you do that, you know? He was really into it. So then one day he hit me up. He was like, God bless. And I was like, wow, like what a coincidence, because I was thinking about hitting him too, but you're a little bit tímido. You're a little scared to, you know, go first and be like, oh, you know, can you help me? Because you never know what the guy's going to say. So when he hit me up, I felt like that was a sign of God telling me, you know, this is your chance. And from there, we just took it from there. And boxing is different, you know, it's, you could play basketball and say, I'm tired, I'm going to sit out. And nobody's going to say anything. But when you're in that ring, it's a man against a man, you know, two dogs. And you want to see, it's like challenging yourself. Like, who's the bigger man? Who could actually survive and really man it out? So that's it. I like the challenge. I like to be competitive, so that's why I chose boxing. And I'm falling in love with the process every day. So that's
It's
Yeah.
important part.
Yeah, it's important part.
Yeah.
The gentleman right there.
Why do you join the sport now? So, I started boxing when I was about 15. Much like Danny said, that he was into fighting. So for me, when I was young, like a 5, 6, 7, for whatever reason, it was appealing to me to be the guy that nobody can beat. I just found boxing later on, but I don't know why that was appealing to me as a kid, but just being that guy was appealing to me. And then I fought as a youth, like in the streets and stuff. I was a little bit troubled youth, but thanks to God and my faith in Christ, you know, sports got me out of the streets and out of the dealing drugs and just gain life and things like that. So first I first wrestled. Wrestling was like the first sport that first discipline that I focused on. So I wrestled in middle school and high school, and I would, on the off season, I would box. But boxing was my true passion. Wrestling just happened to be something else I fell in love with because of the team, the camaraderie, things like that. So I had my first fight at 16. And then I'm 28 now, and I've been boxing since then, on and off. And I thank God for it because it's something that helped me to find my purpose in life. I truly believe. So you asked why boxing and why not the other sports? I love all sports, really. I'm a competitor. I believe in paying your dues, you know. But boxing happens to be the thing that I gravitated towards, and I truly believe that it's part of God's plan for my life to be a champion in boxing in this area, and to let people know how to share the gospel with people and let them know how it changed my life.
Is something that drives you, like that give you the motivation to do it, like boxing, like is something that drives you to do it?
Yeah, what motivates you? What made you wake up every day and say, "Oh, I wanna work out, I wanna practice boxing"? You know.
It started off more of a personal ambition with desiring to be the best. Now, I still compete to be the best, to give my best, and that's what I'm aiming at, to winning, being a champion. That's my job. My job, boxing just happens to be the area that I chose, but my job is to be a champion, is to win. So that's what I do this for. And like he said, boxing, basketball and football and things, you could take a break, you could play it. Boxing is not really a game. It's not really fun. It's a job. I love it, so it works for me, but it's not for everybody. It's just like you might be in broadcasting and journalism, and that might be your thing. I may have no talent for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for everyone. Like God gave each and every one of us certain gifts, and Coach Carlos has the gift. You got the magic eye, and I'm not gonna say the magic eye, but you got the eye. You got the eye of the tiger. You know, and he has both sides of the fence where he desires to win. He's in there with us. So he's fighting right there with us, even though he's not the one in there. I take a punch, he takes the punch, and he takes that personally. I take that personally for him too. And we were just talking about this in the gym the other day, that I got your mom, like meaning I'm responsible to succeed for your mom and for your mom. Your mom is my mom, you know, and that's something personal. I meant that, and we looked each other in the eye as men, and we meant what we said, you know, and not that we idolize people or idolize the sport, but we idolize giving God our best and being successful for the give back, for what we can do back to the community. So that's my responsibility. That's the race that I chose to run. Oh. So that's my motivation.
That's right.
That was beautiful.
You talk about talent. I have a question for the coach right now. Do you think like to be a boxer, you have to like be given with the talent you get born with the talent, or you can develop the talent?
Both.
Both.
You know, some people, like you said, are born with it. You know, born fighters. I've had a lot of those people come into my life. Some people, you know, they have to be taught in the gym the skill set. You know, some people are not born with it. They don't have the talent. You know, they might be in that mirror for 6 months just throwing a jab. You know, that's the first punch we learn in boxing. That's the most important punch in boxing. But I feel like, you know, hard work beats talent, no matter what. I don't care how talented you are. You could be as talented as you could be. I don't care how talented you are. If you got 1 foot in boxing and 1 foot in the street, it's not gonna work. You know, you gotta stay focused. You gotta be dedicated. You gotta put your all into this. Like you can't even like it no more because everybody likes it. You gotta do what they don't want to do. You have to be obsessed with it. You have to be possessed with it. You gotta love this. Like this has to consume you.
You have to be more mental state than that. Other things have to make it, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Everyone is blessed with talents, some more in certain areas than others. So let's say 2 fighters, to kind of answer your question. Let's say one fighter is blessed with, from the beginning, 50%, and the other person 10%. Back to what Coach was saying, hard work would be talent. So if that person who was blessed with the more doesn't cultivate his gift, that guy will catch up to him and pass him. So it's the total wins the race, the slow and steady, the guy who doesn't quit and is persistent. that's usually the guy that comes out on top. The guy that continues.
His investment goes slow, and then you get it.
And that's with everything, not just boxing. That's everything.
True. Everything.
Anything in life.
That's what I say. Like when you don't like something, everybody, the person who likes it, he's gonna be willing to put the extra 2 hours, extra 3 hours that you do.
Exactly.
So that person's gonna achieve the goal that you have
That's it.
faster than you, for sure. Or you're not willing to put the work because you don't like it. You're not passionate about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Can you tell us what motivates you?
Well, mine's is simple. Like, I'm Dominican. Every Hispanic mother wakes up early to go to work.
That's true.
5, 6, 7 in the morning.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I look at that and I'm like, it kind of makes you sad because it's like you don't want your mom to wake up at 60, 50 years old, wake up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, going to work, and then coming at 3, 4. Then tiene que cocinar.
Exactly.
Then she has to clean.
Shit crazy.
It's a lot. To do that every day. That's hard work. I think that's harder work than what we do. So to get her out of that lifestyle is what motivates me, you know. So I want to keep working hard. So every time I feel tired and I don't want to do something, I just think of her. Like if she could do it, then I could do it. So that's what motivates me.
And that's what we meant when we made that pact with one another, saying about our moms. Like it's important for each one of us. I mean, me and you didn't speak as much about it as me and him because we just met each other maybe a month or two. But me and Carlos talked about it and about our mom's situations and how that's important to us. And just about every young man, especially a fighter, wants to get back to his mom. That's like his first princess, you know, his first queen.
Sacred.
But for me, my mom been riding public transportation for as long as I can remember. And she lived in Texas now, but she was living in New York, and I was praying a lot for her. I prayed the protection of God over my family because where they were living is just not.
It's dangerous.
I came from the same streets, and thank God He moved me here. It's a little less dangerous, you know. But my mom, she's getting older. She's small already, you know. It's like,
I know.
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't getting younger, so
You gotta work for the family. What about this guy right here? What's your name again? Henry. What motivates you?
My parents, like, I look at them like they're working hard every day, keeping like food on the table and all that. And I'm just like, I just want to do that for them too, like to retire. So once I go to a plus, I'm like, I'm gonna give them money and just
Get them out the struggle.
get them out the struggle and all that. So they wanted to like work for me. I mean, like to like keep food on the table for me anymore. So like, yeah.
I understand completely. It's the same for me. Yes.
Same.
How about you?
It's pretty much the same thing like Dave said. It's because of the passion for boxing, for my family, for my team, you know, Team Explosivo, and like everyone who supports me, basically, you know. I've had encounters where like I can't make it anymore, but I always come back. Sometimes because of work or you know things like that. But you know, I always find my way back to boxing, and I start working, and like you know, now I'm really trying to take this serious, and I'm working hard every day, you know, as a team, with my team, and you know. So yeah, that's what I do it for, you know. That's what motivates me every day. You know, I leave the laziness aside, all that.
You know, there's a lot of people that say that being boxing is a very, very easy sport, and I want two opinions that can tell me how hard is it to be in the ring with somebody, like just exchanging punches. I want you to tell me something.
Yeah, like before this interview, you know, we got a 10-minute round in with me and him, and it's like it's different because you know you're throwing punches. Anybody could run 3 miles. You know, you stop, run again, you know, it's easy to run, but when you're in there throwing punches nonstop, and then let's say you get a little bit tired, and the other person keeps coming, you gotta like it's more of a mental toughness, because sometimes in your head you tell yourself, all right, I'm done, I wanna give up, but you can't do that, because then it translates to your body, and then you stop, so you just, yeah, boxing is not easy at all, it's not at all, like, you're gonna go in there with some people who are crazy, you know, they like to get hit. So you thinking you're doing a good job, and they just keep coming. It's like, what the hell? This guy's crazy. So, you know, it's not. To me, it's the hardest sport because I played every sport. You know, I did it all. So, boxing is definitely the hardest sport.
Well, tying on what he said you know, some people are crazy and they keep coming. It's because he hit like pillows.
Yeah.
Coach,
Commercial break.
that's
Yeah,
true.
what's called coach?
Commercial break.
That's true, Coach.
We're gonna hit that. Right,
They
harder.
get it in the beginning.
But no, I just
Yeah, we always
just
playing
talk
around
trash
like
to each
that.
other. But the
That's
thing is,
understandable.
it's like we all kind of touched on this, but you were saying about we got on the topic of talents, and let's say one guy's blessed with more talent. That talent would take him but so far. At some point, the class there's a step up in class of the caliber of fighters you're going to compete against, and against the people who take it serious. Your talent will go but so far. After a while, it becomes, because talent is natural. You got to develop it and cultivate it and to get skills that comes from hours and hours and days and weeks and months and years of cultivating your talents, your natural gifts, to make them skills. So your talent will only go but so far. After that, it becomes your skill, and then also your will, being persistent. When you're tired and your body's saying, I had a little bit of work today, you know, and this guy's not really stopping, you know, and he's hit me pretty good. He's not really trying to make it easy. Like, we were in there, he knows that he has to fight because I'm not going to lay down for him, you know, and I'm going to push him. I'm going to do him a disservice if I don't make it realistic, you know. So the culture we have in this gym, in this team, is to win. To give nothing less than our best. That's the culture. That is our expectation. We expect to win. That's what we train to do. We train to condition all parts of our body, legs, waist and upper body movement, and punches, to condition our body to go through that stuff. So we beat ourselves here mentally and overcome our own personal limitations day after day after day, and then competing against each other as well. So we're competing against us and one another, so that we do that every day for 6 months, 8 weeks, 12 weeks for a training camp. We done it a million times already. By the time it's fight night, and you got somebody who can fight, if you're not ready for that, if you have not beat your body into shape or your mental mind, your talent ain't gonna save you.
That's true.
You could be freaking so blessed, but if you have not drilled your mind and your body to endure that. This might not be the sport for you, you know?
Yeah, I got a question for you, because you're the longest that been fighting. You have the most fighter, that you're the one that have the most fighter, like 27, 27 fights. And I know a lot of people that they have quit boxing because fear. Because once you put it on the ring, one time, maybe they don't want to go to the second time. Like, they say, like, I'm done with this, so I'm quit, because this is not for me. So how you fear, like, have this fear, like when you're gonna go to the ring with somebody else, like the fear, like?
I think fear is a spirit, and it tries to visit everyone. Now it's how we respond. Are we gonna shrink, or are we gonna rise? And that's another reason why I say that this sport is not for everybody. That you have to have something that drives you to do it, because that'll motivate you to train, to put in the extra stuff. Earlier in my career, after my first 2 fights, I took some time off from wrestling and things, and when I came back, I jumped up experience division from sub-novice to novice. It's a difference in experience. So it's like no fights to 3 and better, and I jumped up earlier, 1 fight early, and into the Diamond Gloves tournament in 2009. And what motivated me at the time was to win. I wanted to win. So I worked tirelessly. My coach at the time, I wasn't work. We still work together, but he's the head guy. He runs this. This is his stable, Coach Carlos. But we also work. We collaborate with Dan Doyle, who was my original. I had 2 fights with one other guy, but he ended up moving, and the rest of my fights were with him. And then I had my last fight with Carlos. So Dan Doyle was the president of the New Jersey Golden Gloves, and we had like. All my championships were with Dan. But the point I was trying to make was Dan used to send me home. Like, Jim, go home, man. Like, you're doing too much. I was overtraining. But I didn't understand. I was young. I wanted to win. I was, like, determined, you know. Like, no, I have to, you know. And
So,
like, Jim, go home.
You have fear, but you fight the fear, like, within you.
Fear is not my motivation. So it's we all feel it, but it's how you respond.
Yeah.
We all feel nerves and anxiety, whatever it is.
Anxiousness.
We all feel that, because I'm no different. You know what I mean? I feel the same thing. But what helped me was that preparation. That preparation kind of kills the fear, because you put in the work. You have a higher expectation of yourself because you know what you're capable of, or having a better idea of what you can do.
Yeah.
So it helps a lot. And mind you, excuse me, one last thing. That tournament, I ended up winning most outstanding champion, most outstanding fighter of both fights and of the tournament. They named me the most outstanding fighter of that tournament.
Nice.
And that's just effort.
Y'all have something to add up?
Nah, pretty much what he said. Is true. Like, if you prepared hard for the fight, or even like, for example, sparring, it doesn't have to be a fight. You go in there, and sometimes you do have fear, and you get anxiety. But if you train hard, which is what we do, you go in there and you just have fun with it. You won't even feel that fear because you know that you're prepared for it. There's times, there's times where I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes I come back and I'm not ready for it, and I'll spar and I'll be really scared. The first round because I'm not, I'm still getting used to it. So it happens to everybody. But if you train hard, you won't you'll fight against it.
Second
it won't
nature.
beat you. Yeah.
What about you? When you fight before?
I think honestly, like once that first punch is thrown, all that fear stuff's out the window. It's more of a mental thing. Sometimes, like they say, you put yourself in certain situations, uncomfortable situations, and that's what prepares you for that fear. And you want to be the 1%. What happens when 99 people are fear? What are you gonna do?
I was waiting for that before when you were talking about it. Cause you gotta do what the 1% is gonna do.
Exactly.
So everybody, when you said everybody wants it, or everybody likes this, that's what I was expecting.
What do you do when everybody wants what you want? When there's a billion people that want exactly what you want, what are you gonna do differently?
Extremely hard.
1%ers. That's what we are. All of us. Everybody
wanted
here.
more.
You know what
You
he
guys
said?
too. Everybody here.
Who wanted more?
You know what he said about what's that first punch? This is Carlos, right? He's like, the first punch, he comes back. It comes back like.
The Joker.
I have one more question about motivation. I know you are a really motivated person. I follow you on Instagram and I see all your posts and all your stories that you post every day. I want to know what motivation, positivism. I'm sorry about my English. I know. Positivism. That's how you say it?
Positivity?
Positivity, yeah. Positivity brings to boxing. How help the fighter?
How do I incorporate that into the sport of boxing? I mean, boxing is a lonely sport, for those people that don't understand, like these guys said, they're in there fighting, they're taking the shots, and fighting is a lonely sport. It's like a one-way, and sometimes everybody's just not there, and these fighters need that, they need that support. And I want to be there to support them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but not so as a stablemate, more as a family. Like we're family. It's not about the glory, the money. It's about unity. And
accountability.
Exactly.
Important self-esteem and accountability.
And not only that, but winning, like he said earlier, victory lap. I have it here in Japanese. Right?
Japanese.
This stands for victory.
Victory.
Yeah, and what happens is. Winners, people gravitate to winners. It lifts people's spirits up, and that's what we're doing. We're building a culture of winning.
Yeah.
We want to give people hope. These young kids get out the street. Fighting in the street, drinking, smoking. All that stupid stuff. That's not productive. Go out there and do something positive. It don't have to be boxing, but go out there and be proactive. You know what I mean? Go get you a hobby. Go do something. Be somebody. Lead by example. Lead a legacy, so when you die, there's people that look up to you. You weren't looked at as like, oh, that's that troublemaking person, or you went to jail or whatever. You're putting your freedom at risk, you know what I'm saying? Like, be somebody, an inspiration, When you die years from now, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King, to this day, people still talk about them.
Like Willard.
And that's what we're doing, Little by little, day by day, break by break. We're just gonna put all the pieces together.
And there's one thing also that I think all that he said. Doing it as a service to the world.
Yeah.
First to one another, because we're accountable. So if, like I said, I'm doing him a disservice if I don't make it real.
Yeah.
If I don't give him everything, I'm cheating him.
Yeah.
And all of us. especially me being the veteran of the bunch, because I'm the only one that has competed other than, like, I'm the only one who has fought here. So as a service to the team, it's all about giving them everything I have. Jesus said, freely you've been given, freely give. So that's who I follow. And that's my race is for God. And to use this platform to tell people how Jesus changed my life and how he set me free.
Amen.
You know, I'm no longer in the streets. I no longer live sinful every day like I once did. I still slip here and there, but I pick up my cross and I keep following Jesus. And yeah.
I have another topic. I don't know which one of you guys know a little bit about. You follow YouTube? Or you follow YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, you know a little bit about the Boston team who is in YouTube, like Logan Powell, KSI. You know, you guys
It's
know
funny
that?
how you say
Yeah, I
that.
want to know your guys' opinion about.
It's funny because
I have a lot to say about
You
that.
have a lot?
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, that's
So these
crazy.
are like YouTube celebrity people. Like they're like bloggers or whatnot. I don't know.
yeah.
He's the one that brought it up to my attention today, earlier this morning, which was funny. They literally did a press conference for them, the Zone. Like these guys just fought a fight on national television with headgear. Now they're about to fight a professional fight without
Oh,
headgear.
like celebrities.
Yeah.
I think, is that what that was on
Yeah.
the TV when
Yeah,
we
the
came?
KSI
They
was
were
Logan
YouTubers.
Paul.
How do I
saw
feel
that.
about it? To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I understand it's money. You know, it's a business. I get it. You know, I don't wanna. I'm not hating on them because you know it's a hustle. You know, but I feel like it's disrespectful and it's ruining the sport, and it will ruin the sport because you have these guys. Like again, these guys don't train. They never put on gloves in their life. You know what I'm saying? And you got people that have been doing this their whole life, like guys like Jimmy, and these guys are about to fight for a championship. For a WBC world title or whatever it is that Mauricio Sullivan, that's the president of the organization, the WBC, whatever belt he's setting up for them, I get it, it's TV time, you know, get the fans, build the money, but how about all these guys that have been doing this for years, you know, taking all these blows, not just in fights and sparring, you know, all that wear and tear, all that mileage, what's that all about, you know?
Yeah. I understand. But they
It's
say,
gonna be funny though, it's gonna be funny, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tune in.
me too. I want to watch it.
The way I see it too, I see it slightly different. Slightly. I honestly don't pay too much to really care, but the one thing I do think that it does benefit the sport because it gets
me
more
too, me
eyes
too.
watching.
Me too. I think
So-
it benefits.
But I understand 100%,
Yeah, me too.
like, because we take this serious. This is our job, so I understand
Yeah,
completely.
completely think we have.
But I also see the business.
Yeah.
It's good for the sport because it gets eyes watching.
Me too.
And hey, whoever's following them on YouTube or Instagram or whatever it
They're
is,
gonna watch and gonna follow the sport too.
what's WBC, yo? It brings curiosity. It puts boxing in front of the eyes of the public. So
For those that say that boxing is dying, that is true. I
That's-
would agree with that.
that is the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
Boxing is better now than it's ever been.
I
Like
don't know.
there's more money, bigger fights. The only people who say that are people who hate boxing.
Yeah.
You
It's
just,
true.
you just gotta not want to like it. Like
Yeah.
boxing is doing better now than ever did.
That was a funny.
And I'm not saying that
Yeah.
biased.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm not even saying that biased. Like
But they say that they're training hard. I mean, Logan Paul has been training like a whole year.
I mean, I seen a little highlight clip. He looked a little more skillful than the other
Yeah.
guy, you know. I mean,
You
then
think
he
he's
was
gonna
telling.
win?
From what I saw,
because
Because you know, I don't want to judge because I'm not really there watching. You know, I could say one man's gonna win, but then you know,
once the bell rings, people change.
whoever's hungry, whoever's
That guy
hungry.
that's looking good could be the best
true.
YouTube fighter in the world, and then
Yeah.
he might fight the guy that didn't look too good. He might come swinging blows, trying to so
That's depending on who you fight anyway.
Yeah.
So
mentality, all that stuff.
Styles make fights.
When they fought with the headgear, they got a draw. So
Yeah.
now technically it is whoever
See,
trained harder.
business.
And you know
Everybody
what?
wanted to see part 2.
Yeah.
And the
whoever
other-
trains harder is who's gonna be the winner.
The other thing is, you get these like sharp fighters like Jeffrey, right? But then they hit like pillows and they got no skills, and they're
Jeffrey.
Or yeah.
they're about to spar right now.
Yeah, I want to know your guys' opinion. Which one is your favorite boxer and why?
Go ahead, Danny. Kick it
Which
off.
one? Yeah.
My favorite boxer right now is Canelo.
I knew you
Canelo.
were
He actually my
Oh,
favorite boxer
Mexico.
because I love his defense and I just love his style. He's one of the boxers that I follow a lot. I always watch his videos.
It's the real deal.
He's got a dangerous fight
So
coming
he's
up, though.
November
Man.
2nd. Toss
He's the
him.
real deal, though.
What about you?
See, man. See.
Canelo?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
What is your favorite boxer?
My favorite boxer? I have one. Right now it's Canelo. I'm not gonna say anything. But,
he's the
yeah. But
first
Mayweather, I think is a really intelligent and smart boxer, and I respect him a lot.
Yeah, Mayweather.
What about
Yeah,
you?
Why everybody like Canelo? Because he got all the money?
No, it's not.
He's the
Latino.
truth.
Okay.
He's the truth.
I think Mayweather is good though.
That's like, so this question is all time or just current?
All the time.
Just
Okay.
your favorite boxer.
Your favorite boxer.
All time?
Yeah.
My favorite fighter is Paulie Malignaggi, Italian from Brooklyn, two-time world champion. I know a lot of people look at me like, wait, Paulie? You know, but like he's one of the reasons why I got into boxing. So I just fell in love with his story, the way he carries himself, everything about him, you know. And I watched his documentary so many times, and I never get tired. I could watch it every day, and I will never get tired. Like I would always want to watch more of it, cause his story coming up, you know, he had no parents, getting kicked out of school, living in his grandmother's couch and stuff like that, and you know, breaking his hands and being a one-handed fighter for the most part, in his career against all these killers, you know, Miguel Cotto's, Ricky Hatton's, the Zab Judas, the baby Juan Diaz, the Danny Garcias of the world, like all these great champions, and he's in there fighting 12 rounders, you know, winning world titles, you know, and it just overcoming adversity. That's what really
You like that,
inspired
right?
me and motivated me.
You like that because you're a Met fan. So.
I love the Mets, and they're winning right now. I don't know if you heard the
Yeah.
clapping, and my mom's like, yeah. We got 10 more games
you
left.
like teams overcome, like they come from this.
I like the underdog. I'm
Yeah.
more. I'm not the. I like to jump the bandwagon because he's winning. I'm not about that.
Yeah.
You can lose 1,000 times. I'll always love you. I always had that loyalty for you, no matter what. That's just
That's
how
nice.
Even if you lose.
I am. Yeah.
So sad.
We don't lose. We learn. We learn. That's it.
Before you answer, Paulie Malignaggi, you're welcome for the publicity, bro.
I'll see you soon, bro.
Probably funny as hell. Nah,
Manny Pacquiao.
Nah. My favorite fighter is
My father
he's a
was
little
Manny
older. He died recently this year. Is Pernell Whitaker.
Oh,
that's my favorite fighter.
Yeah, he's good though.
Yeah, he's in.
He was.
He's in Mayweather's. He's number one in Mayweather's top 5. So if Mayweather thinks he's number one and Mayweather's
Gotta
the
be
greatest
good for
boxer,
sure.
he's definitely one of the best. So yeah, rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker. He died this year. So yeah, that's my favorite
Rest
boxer.
in peace. One of the best defensive fighters of all
Yeah,
time.
that's it.
Oscar de la Hoya.
That's another great champion.
He's great though. He's great.
Six world titles in 6 different weight classes. Oscar De La Hoya is the golden boy. What can you say?
Well, he was ready.
No.
I'm
right.
I was just giving him his respect. That's a
Tough. Bigger question.
that's a question that it's tough. I like several different fighters. I like the guys with the will to win, the ability to overcome, where it's not only their skills but their will. That's something special. So Floyd Mayweather's in that conversation for me. I'm like I don't have like a top fighter, but if I did, I'm
Give me your top 3. Give me your top 3.
I give
First
you
guy
my-
that comes up to
man, it
mind.
had to be one.
Yeah, alright, go,
You
go,
gotta
go.
be one.
If I absolutely had to pick one,
The one you talk about the most.
Andre SLG Ward.
Yes, sir.
Yay.
And
That's a legend.
the reason why I love Andre Ward, he's America's last gold medalist at the Olympics. He retired undefeated about 1.5 years ago, or 2 years ago now. He beat the best of his time. The only reason why he wasn't pound for pound champion longer is because Floyd Mayweather was still active. And Floyd Mayweather was like leading the race for the longest because he was a professional and a champion before Andre Ward ever even turned pro.
96, 97.
But skills to pay the bills, the will to win, the grit, the tenacity, the determination, relentless. I will not take no for an answer. I learned, my eyes learned that. I recognized that quality watching him, and that's something I took from me. that I will not be denied. I will not take no for an answer. So, sure, I have my 4 championships. I've lost fights also, but I'm still kicking. I'm punching, really. I'm still punching.
Punch.
But,
No pillow, bro. No pillow.
Yeah, no
No pillow.
but I would say Andre Ward, and if I had a close second, I might go Kazaki. Joe Kazaki.
Kazaki is nice.
Oh yeah, he was good.
I love Pacquiao too, but it's hard, man.
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
gonna stick with Andre Ward.
Andre Ward is the
My father loved Pacquiao a lot.
She's great, man.
Yeah.
Great. Pacquiao is the real
Andre
deal.
Ward is the only guy to
He's
defeat
getting
the
older.
guy that's fighting Canelo now.
Wow.
The guy, Sergey Kovalev, Andre
Dangerous.
Ward's the only guy to defeat him.
Nah,
And Canelo's fighting him now.
nah, he also lost to.
But he beat him.
He did. He eventually lost.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a dangerous fight for Canelo. I love Canelo.
Yeah, it is.
If I'm Canelo's managers, I wouldn't want him to fight that fight.
At least,
But Canelo's a champion. He wants that fight.
Yeah,
He's
he
going
does.
up 2 weight classes to fight this guy.
Yeah.
and this guy's a natural light heavyweight, and
Yeah.
he's the crusher.
Nobody
That's his
want
name
to
for a
fight
reason.
this guy anymore. Canelo. There is no fighter to fight him. You got to do something.
I think it's smart for him. If he wins, it's huge for his legacy. I just think it's a dangerous fight. But that's the thing. When you dare to be great,
Yeah.
I tip my hat to that, man. He's
Risk- there's
daring
no
to be
risk,
great.
no reward.
Mikey Garcia is another one, that Mexican champion that jumped up 2 weight
Mikey
classes
Garcia.
to fight the boogeyman of the division, the guy nobody really wanted to fight. He ended up losing, but I tip my hat to that. He's daring to be great, doing what other fighters and promoters are not trying to do.
Yeah.
What do you think about Ryan Garcia? Ryan Garcia?
Ryan Garcia.
I think this is like some
you
kind
think
of bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it's
bullshit.
bullshit,
That's
man.
I think it's
like
bullshit.
I don't
for
think
real.
it's
I'm
that
sorry.
It's a hype. It's a
Yeah,
hype.
he's a hype.
No, Canelo's wrestling for him hard.
Nah, hell.
Yeah.
Nah, man. You know what I think it is? I
I
think it's
think
because
it's
he's an Instagram guy. you
Yeah,
know?
it's an Instagram.
He looks like
shit,
a
no?
model, so everybody, you know, it's
He's
like
not
trying
business.
to.
He's not a
Yeah.
business guy.
This is nah, man. We gotta see him fight the good fighters. You
You
know,
know,
elite.
But this next guy's supposed to be.
Exactly.
You know, yeah,
We want to see
so
more
I
from
haven't
him.
seen
We want
one.
to see more from him.
But he has a good fight coming up too. He's gonna be on the undercard.
Yeah,
Of,
yeah.
Volver, Uno.
He's gonna fight a good
I
guy.
don't know
That's
this
gonna be a
guy,
good fight for him.
but supposedly he's
It's gonna be
a step up.
He's quality. He's quality.
That's
Supposedly,
gonna be his
what I
first
hear.
real test.
Yeah, that's gonna be like,
I think the guy he was supposed to fight, the guy that got supposedly he had a warrant and he got arrested at the day of the fight.
Yeah.
That was gonna be a tough fight for him as well, but a lot of people didn't know who he was either.
Yeah.
But things happen, you know.
To end the podcast video, I want to know your guys' advice to the youth. Each one.
Yeah, you go first, Junior.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
You gotta make it quick.
You can talk.
My advice to the youth or to anyone: dream your dream and don't be afraid. Don't hold back. Dream your dream and go after it. Find something you're passionate about, something that you find the grace to do, and go for it. You live once, and you can impact the world. You are worth it, and the world deserves to see your success. Put in your hard work on your craft, work on your talent, and make the best of it. Give God your best, and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, you.
Mine is easy, man. Do not be a follower. A lot of people, like, they'll have 5 friends, you know, they see them smoking weed, drinking, so they'll be like, alright, let me do that. And then the 5 friends will be like, we're whack, you're boring, you know. Then that, you know, it hurts your self-esteem because you're like, let me do it then. You know, because even if you don't want to do it, you see your 5 friends, you like, be like, you know what, F that. Because at the end of the day, when you're rich and they're there washing your car,
Yeah.
they're gonna be, I'm telling you, it happens like that. It happens like that. They're gonna be the ones washing your car. You're gonna be like, oh, I remember you called me whack because I didn't want to smoke. You remember? Yeah, now you washing my car. That's the whole point. Don't be a follower because I'm telling you, 5-10 years later, they're gonna be the same ones washing your car, serving you food. So just don't be a follower. Do what you want to do and do what you love to do, and that's it.
And don't be pillow fighting like this.
Yeah,
Pillow fighter.
He's still going. He's still
Cut the
going.
camera, man. Cut the
He ran in
camera.
the marathon.
go to the pillow.
Yeah,
Mr. Pillow.
That's my new name for him, man.
Okay.
You go, Danny.
You go and
If I would have to say something to the youth, it would be like he said, you know, dream big and think big. Cause nowadays, you know, growing up, like Jeffrey was saying, all you see in the streets is smoking, doing drugs, and drinking. You know, like there's nothing good on the streets for the youth. To be honest, And a lot of people are closed-minded, you know, they don't offer anything to the youth, and that's why they think that way, you know, they follow what other people are doing, you get what I'm saying? And, you know, I always think that what's best for the youth is to think outside the box, you know, think big and dream big and chase it, you know, be different.
Be different.
That's the best
Be
point right
different.
there. Like they have to chase it because if they don't chase it,
Exactly.
if they only think big, it's nothing gonna happen to think like I want to be rich or something, or I want to be the greatest fighter.
Yeah.
But if they don't chase it,
Can I
they're not doing anything.
Can I say one more sentence?
Yeah.
Sentence, not paragraph.
This guy.
We love you, Jimmy. We love you.
I love it.
Yeah, we love you.
In all seriousness, write it down and work at it every day.
Manifesting.
Fast, manifest for real.
Yep.
He's the younger, right?
Yeah, he's the baby. He's the baby.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 17.
That's the OG right
Let's
there.
go.
He got more of a future than all of us right now.
Yeah.
We can't rewind time. You.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Have time.
All I gotta say is,
For the youngest, so.
For the youngest.
That's the OG.
High school.
The OG.
just follow what your mind tells you. Don't follow. Don't. What I was gonna say? Don't. Fuck.
It's okay. It's okay.
Confidence, bro. You good.
You
You
got
got
it.
this, bro.
We're gonna
You
have
got
it.
it. It's your moment. Come on.
Just follow what
Seize the
your mind tells you. Don't let anybody like back you down, like bring you down or anything. Like just keep on doing what you're doing.
Keep going.
Yeah, just go. Keep on going.
Coach Carlos.
Thank you. Last one, we're gonna finish with you, Coach Carlos.
Let's
You
go.
gotta finish strong. Don't
Coach of the year.
Have to be yours, bro.
Yeah.
USA Boxing Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
God willing. And you heard what I just said. God willing. I'm gonna stop right there. God. Without God, we're nothing.
Amen.
Gotta put God first, no matter what.
Amen.
You know, when you wake up in the morning, you pray. You don't just pray when everything is going good, when everything is going bad in your life. You pray when everything's going good. Don't get comfortable. Don't think because you had a good day or you accomplished something, that's it. Everything stops, the world stops. No. Time keeps going. The clock is not gonna stop. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep believing in yourself, and put God first. I'm telling you, I've had deep conversations with the Lord every time I go out for a run. Because aside from this, my hobby is running. I'm a runner. I'm getting ready for my New York City Marathon, which I'm dedicating to my grandma that passed away. Tomorrow will be her 2 years exactly that she passed away. You know, so I do this for her as well. And she was also a faithful daughter to the Lord. You know, she was the one that kept the family spirit alive and stuff like that, you know, introduced me to God and stuff like that. So I had to say, put God first no matter what. I'm not saying be religious, start going to church, but believe me, there's somebody up there that's watching you and that believes in you, and he's whispering in your ear. And say no to negativity, because the devil is a liar, I'm telling you right now.
Sure.
Keep going, pursue whatever it is that you want to do, go for it. Don't make excuses, stop lying to yourself, go out there and do it, because you don't want to be 40, 50 years old like, damn, I could have done this, I could have done that. What if I would have done this, what if I would have done that? No, be that person. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, now. Today's the time, not tomorrow, now.
We're all fighters and we all gotta face that fear.
We're all champions. You know why? Because not necessarily, we don't have to be boxers, but we're all fighting for what we want every single day, so we're all champions. Everybody in this room is a champion. So follow us at Team Explosivo on Instagram and Facebook at Team Explosivo.
Yeah,
Finish it
let's
off
go.
the podcast. What's the name of the podcast?
Escucha
Podcast.
You heard that first. Explosivo Podcast.
Be careful with what you listen to, okay? Be careful with what you consume every single day.
Yeah,
Because the
Should
people,
mental diet.
yeah. Well, tonight. No, that's true. Be careful when you consume, what you listen to every day.
Be a producer,
Negativities.
not a consumer. Be a producer.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to consume, bro.
You're right.
You
know what I mean?
¿Lo hicieron en español?
Escucha
Yeah,
Podcast.
yeah. Close it in Spanish if you're in English. You guys will.
You want to do it in Spanish?
Nah,
Oh,
I'm not good.
no.
One more time, we should say our name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Start with Danny on the phone.
What's that nickname?
Robocop.
That's addiction right there.
Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah,
Tell them.
yeah, tell
You can
them.
find me on Daniel Villa G _ on Instagram.
Go.
Banner.
Instagram.
You have no Instagram? Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
But tell me your name, first and last name.
Yeah.
My name is Henry
El
Marte,
inocente, Marte.
aka El Inocente. I love that name,
El
yo.
inocente.
Watch out for him, man. You on the vibes.
I mean,
Yeah, you guys-
I don't
¿Dónde te pueden
know.
encontrar a ti?
Andy acompañame. Instagram.
Con apellido y todo.
Yeah.
¿Cómo te encuentran en Instagram?
Andy acompañame. I'm gonna put everybody Instagram in the description. I don't know. In the bottom part.
Gotcha.
YouTube. Yeah.
My name is Victor, the greatest. I can't
You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it.
I'm the greatest.
gotta believe it.
I'm the
You
greatest.
gotta
I
believe
told you when I do this it's high five, no low five.
Come on, listen, this is my time right now.
Okay.
it. I love the confidence.
And y'all keep
Yeah, so
finding
confident.
in Instagram as a weather26. And the great things.
We weather the storm around here, you heard? We weather the storm around here.
Where they can find your Explosivo.
No, let's do that. Let's do that.
You
it's
can
the
find me
thing.
on Instagram, Jeffrey ENC22. Yeah, my nickname AK47. November 2nd, me and him will be fighting, God willing. So we're just working hard and we're gonna that W for our city.
That's
Let's
it.
go.
AKA Pillow Hands, AKA Nah. My name is Jimmy Martinez Jr. You can find me on Facebook, Jimmy Martinez Jr. Instagram, Jimmy_Martinez_Jr. 732. And God bless you.
Amen.
And that's a wrap.
No, wait.
Oh,
Yo,
That's it.
I thought he did
That's
it.
it.
he did.
He did kind of,
That's how you feel about coach.
Now, coach.
Follow us at Team Explosivo. I'll be updating everyone on the upcoming fights, upcoming events.
Get you a shirt, you heard?
Get you a shirt,
dog.
Sense
I
of
like
victory.
Jimbo,
Right
you
here.
see that Jimbo on the bottom? Yeah,
On the sleeve, the
buddy.
Lion's Pride will never die. It's a lifestyle, baby.
Let's go.
That's it. At Team Explosivo on Instagram and Facebook. We love you.
Hasta ahora. Gracias por ver un video más de Escucha Podcast. This time in English.
Escucha Podcast.
Escucha Podcast.
Podcast.
On the rise.
Hey.